tuned in to the Keetria Show and listening to SOB, Style of Business, the podcast with your host, Keetria. We aim to highlight the ongoing trek of entrepreneurs and business owners from around the globe, featuring stories that recount their struggles, experiences, and inevitable road to success and self-fulfillment. Welcome to SOB.
This episode is supported by the wonderful creators of Gratitude Plus app, the app that helps you cultivate a daily practice of gratitude. What are you grateful for today? You can download the app now at the App Store or by visiting gratitudeplusapp.com/style of business. Hey, what's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in for another great episode of SOB, Style of Business, the podcast. This is your host, Keetria. Today I'm speaking with Mr. Sherman Williams, who is the owner and the founder of a wonderful, we're going to call it the healthiest beverage on the planet, which is Body Aqua. And he is also an Army veteran who served 25 years in the armed services. So definitely a great conversation. He's going to be sharing some information with us about the company that he's put together, the beverage, what it does for the body, some tips and tools in regards to small business and entrepreneurship, and of course his mission and purpose when it comes to serving the lives of people with this wonderful beverage and delicious beverage, I must admit, from what I've read online with everybody who is listening today. So let's give him a moment to give us an introduction, and we are going to roll right through. So Sherman, how's your day going? Go ahead and drop that background for us, and we will roll from there.
Okay, great. I am doing outstanding because it's another day that you wake up and you say, okay, let's go. What you're going to do to make a difference in this time we have on this world and this planet. So my name is Sherman Williams. Born and raised in Charleston, South Carolina. And growing in a small town, you always think you're never going to go or really see the world. But it just had a calling. I need to do more. So just seeing my mom and dad struggle and say, you know what, I'm just going to go in the military and try to find myself because I still didn't know who or what I wanted to be or do. And went into the military, and you think you're going to stay in the States, but nope, it took me overseas. First duty station was in Germany. From there was a awakening of, wow, this is a huge place, different people, different outlooks on how we're treated versus being in America and Germany. And years later, mind you, I did 25 years. I was deployed doing, they call it OIF, which is Operation Iraqi Freedom. So during that time frame, I did not think I was going to live through that experience because, you clean your weapons, you depend on your weapon, especially in a place of combat. But when that weapon malfunctions and you're actually under duress and fire, you don't know what the outcome's going to be. And that's what happened to me on a few occasions, because to have the greatest army on the planet, for a few grains of sand to get in your weapon and to cause it to jam, it creates a pause. And of course, I found religion even closer then because you don't know if you want to be here any longer. Yeah. But during that time frame in Iraq, the blistering heat during the day, the rigid cold at night, and even though they sold like caffeinated drinks and this and that nature, none of those things helped me in regards to the energy drinks that they were having down there. They actually ruptured and put my battle buddies as well as myself in a different phase of not even being able to focus to be coherent of what's going on. And of course, your skin goes through so much, as in the amount of lotions, creams, everything that you apply in that climate, because you're reaching up to 120 degree weather. And then if it drops to 100 or 90 degrees, which is pretty good, you're actually freezing. So my skin went through so much. I actually have frostbite now, not just from Iraq, but my time in Germany too. Oh, wow. But I'm also blessed of that because that was the birth and creation of Body Aqua, because all of the fluids and waters and juices, everything I was drinking, it did not do my body any good. And I'm like, wow, what do I need? So from there, I came back, started doing research, trying to figure out what the body needs on a regular basis. And of course, being Americans, if it doesn't have a good taste to it, I don't want it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So I had to put some taste on it, and then really trying to figure out which sweeteners, which is natural as well as needed for the body, because you need a certain amount of sugars and stuff, even though there's an overabundance now in America. But each bottle, which is a 16-ounce bottle, only has 6 grams of sugar in each bottle.
Oh, wow.
So in that, I utilize stevia, but I try to mask it with another sweetener, which is agave, which is very potent and expensive and one of the most natural base. And you can argue with sweeteners, but based on my research, this is the most effective and healthy sweetener, because the sweetener that doesn't add value or calories, that means there's a chemical base in there, which is not natural. But yet you have people that are calorie watchers, and actually that's really a bad thing, because for example, apple has say 40 to 60 calories, and then you drinking this supposedly natural product that has no calories. You need to question it.
Oh wow! Now I tell you what, I'm kind of, it boggles my mind to think about the amount of research that went into you putting this together, because I know you mentioned that it was like maybe 10 plus years in the making, just trying to figure out, how you could produce a product that's going to be functional and that's going to work to really enhance, skin, not only the outside appearance, but then also the inside. So tell us a little bit about what that process was like for you, just trying to make sure that you had, all your T's crossed and your I's dotted when it came to, producing the product.
So I'm going to anchor that with my mission statement. And, most business try to have a mission statement. So what I say in mine is all about what you see every day and don't realize. So it's 63 million Americans are exposed to unsafe drinking water every day. Body Aqua provides a proactive solution to health and beauty, delivering over 1,000% of nutrients on a daily basis, saying 1 bottle a day will help keep the wrinkles, acne, and body fat away. So the breakdown of having a cosmetic beverage, because everyone goes in the cosmetic section, but everything is applied externally. So what are you really doing? You're actually covering up the beauty you already have. Because as you know, I hope majority of all of the babies are cute babies. They say, oh, that baby's really cute.
Exactly.
Because if the baby is unattractive, you're not going to acknowledge that. You're probably going to keep that to yourself.
Exactly.
But anyway, everyone has baby skin and growing up, and even for those that still have baby hair, oh, you still have your baby hair, but you got to think, where does all those things come from? So as a baby, and as you see, the skin is the largest organ of the body, but most neglected.
Yeah.
And one of the main things that it needs? Of course it needs water, but you can't say there's no such thing as regular water, because all of the water you consume now is bottled. So if you're drinking regular water, that means you used to go to the river when it wasn't polluted, even to the streams as well as from the well. That was regular water, but that's no longer available now. So you can't say, oh, I drink regular water, because it's missing key trace minerals. So what I did is provide vitamins A through K, and it's K2, which come from mainly all of the green vegetables. But that's the key to building collagen naturally for your body to actually exuberate that, along with biotin, zinc, and chromium. And to add to that, the flavors that are utilized also supports the skin to be enriched to support their ability to have a external and natural glow. So that was the cosmetic beverage. So, and those flavors are the kiwi pineapple, the cucumber lemon with a hint of mint, and lemon lime. So those are only fruits that should be utilized or consumed to support your skin. And so I did a lot of research to say that this is a beverage with a purpose. Because when you drink something, especially with flavor, okay, what else is this doing for me besides hydrating me? And that's the question we should always ask ourselves. And then when you go to fitness, the fitness beverage is not a sports drink. So a sports drink is always made to look and say that, oh, this is healthy, you need this. But think of it. What is electrolytes? It's sodium and potassium. It's salt, pretty much. So why are you drinking salt and eating salt? And yes, if you're very active, you're going to sweat. But you know how the best way that we're supposed to consume electrolytes, and that's through our food. But we don't realize we do consume it through our food, and we drink it. Therefore, we have a problem with obesity and diabetes in this country. So when you look at overall fitness, even to our kids who aren't active like they used to be, but based off the water missing those key nutrients, everybody is off balanced.
Everybody is off balance. Can you, and to add to that, can you explain a little bit about, especially for people who may not be familiar with the term functional, in reference to the beverage, is that pretty much what you're talking about as far as having a beverage that really goes into contributing to the way that we, move, as far as how we feel, the skin, and the appearance, just kind of helping us to get what we need on the inside so the outside is, balanced?
Oh, exactly. And this is the kicker. I have the only cosmetic beverage on the planet. If you go to Google, any type of internet form, and you type in cosmetic beverage, the only product will come up is Body Aqua.
Oh, wow.
As a beverage. So when all of the other drinks, even coconut water, Gatorade, Powerade, all of those, they all do the same thing. And people didn't even realize, what? Coconut water, I thought it was healthy. No, it's not. Yeah. It's actually putting more sodium and potassium in your system than you need. Because think of it, one potato chip, not a bag, but one potato chip exceeds your amount of sodium for one day.
Oh, no.
Exactly. So why am I drinking a sports drink or something that already has sodium in it? You even have regular water that has sodium in it, what actually makes you thirstier and want more and not be truly full. So that's the whole selling point of why they do some of these things. So it's kind of sad, and when we evaluate what people are selling us, and we're quick to buy it, especially our young people, because as we do as an adult with our kids, we think we're doing the right thing, and we're not.
Exactly. Yeah, and to add to that, I know you mentioned, what Body Aqua is not, which is not like the Gatorades or the Powerades and things like that. But this is also different from those collagen drinks, because when you talk about the cosmetic beverage, I know that those are real popular now, to where they're getting the collagen powders and mixing those in. So, yeah.
It's very true, but it's sad because those things won't help. The only thing that'll help is probably strengthen your nails, because you can't sell collagen. You have to give your body what it needs internally to make collagen naturally. But this is a key selling point that all of these companies are using now, and it's sad because when you first of all, you're going to drink water. Right. Okay, you need 8 glasses a day, but I'm not going to lie. No one drinks 8 glasses a day. If they drink 8 glasses, it's not in the form of water. It's going to be in coffee, juice, sodas, the list goes on. Because if you was not to drink any kind of liquid for 3 days straight, you would fall dead. You would no longer be on this earth. But because we replace it with other liquids that are not water, we're still functioning, but not how we should be.
Wow, that is, Sherman, we are going to wait patiently for your book, on functionality when it comes to the mind, body, and spirit. So just to kind of throw that out there in the universe, Sherman, we were waiting on your book, because I believe you got a little bit more to offer and to give us. So the next thing I want to talk about, and then we're going to jump into the nonprofit and some of the things that you're doing within the community. But tell us a little bit, like as far as availability, where can we go and purchase, or where can we go to get Body Aqua?
Well, I would love everyone to go to my website, but we was able to get into Walmart. So if you go to walmart.com, I'd like you to go there, because then it's legitimized and let you know that it was vetted in regards to being a unique product that's on the shelf. So even in the cosmetic section of walmart.com, you only find Body Aqua. And then in the grocery section, you'll find the fitness support beverage. But it's great because you got to think we all have a social responsibility, and none of the other beverage companies take that or do anything with it. So if you look at, okay, our responsibility to what we should do for those. So if 30 million people in the U.S. have diabetes, meaning 1 out of 4, and 84 million have pre-diabetes, and 9% don't even know about it, there's a problem. And then even when we have an epidemic of obesity with the confusion of diet for nutrition.
Yeah.
So we are dieting, we got the keto diet, we got this diet, but nutrition is key to that fluid that you're putting in your body. And Body Aqua is the only complete beverage to support that ability to provide the right amount of nutrients your body needs to actually get in shape naturally. Because if you diet all you want and you don't eat this, I'm cutting out meat, yes, you will lose some weight, but you won't be healthy. Because you've seen people that look perfectly fine and they're dead. They just had a stroke or something.
Yeah.
And because your body isn't getting those key nutrients. So mind you, in Body Aqua, you get the vitamins A through K, but the key is those trace minerals. So the biotin, the zinc, the chromium, niacin, and the list goes on. And it's the right amounts that your body needs.
All right, Sherman, let's talk about we know you have the nonprofit, and I know that you have some other initiatives going as well. Tell us a little bit about I Will Survive, and then we will move forward.
I Will Survive is crucial. My fellow soldier, she's a combat veteran as well. Anissa Palmer, she's the creator and the pioneer for I Will Survive, and it's provides economic support, prevention, education, and health and wellness service to those with high risk and affected by breast cancer. Because we all been fighting this fight for the longest, but we understand that no one really wants to cure this. They want to just continue to treat because that's where the money is. But once we start providing our body what it needs, meaning not feeding in acidic ground, because that's why people are so concerned about the pH balance.
Yeah.
But I want to throw this other question for you. For all the alkaline lovers and drinkers out there, if alkaline is so good and so pure and the best thing for you, where was it 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago? Where was it?
That's true.
It's another fad. People don't realize, this is what I need, but water is key. Yes, the pH matters, but it's still missing the nutrients your body needs. You're still flushing it out. I mean, you can die from overhydration. And those that have been in the military or any service that was said that drink water, I've witnessed that. A fellow battle buddy just kept drinking to the point that he pushed all of the living nutrients out of his body. He sat down and he never got back up. Okay. So it's that crucial.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because you do see a lot of the beverages with the pH this, the pH that, and they definitely try to make it a point to have you go and purchase the ones that are alkaline. But I've actually read a couple of stories on a few of those brands that have the alkaline water, and potentially poisoning people, just depending upon what they include. And I'm not going to say any names or whatever, but can you tell us a little bit about how the alkaline, give us a little overview of why that matters, as far as like the alkaline and the pH, and why, like you said, it wasn't available 10 years ago, but now it's important. Or maybe it was available, but it wasn't as important, but now it's a big deal. So give us a little brief on what your thoughts are when it comes to the alkaline water and the pH balance.
So what people don't realize, anything in a bottle is manufactured. So they have to go through different processes to increase the pH level of that water. And there was a time when, due to natural springs and stuff that when we didn't even test about it, it may have been pH based, but all I know it was well water. That's the one truth that we knew that we could count on and gave us everything we needed. So now, when we look at pH, what is the pH of your stomach, or what breaks down all of the food and things that go into your system.
Yeah.
So that's your acidic level based on your pH. So anywhere from 3 to 6.5 to 7 is the acidic level of your stomach to be able to break everything down. So once you start drinking alkaline, which is 7, 8, 9, you throw your digestive system off whack. So now you're not even breaking the stuff down like you're supposed to, because you're constantly pushing the pH level or acidic level in your body higher than it's supposed to be. It's just like you're supposed to put Supreme in your gas in your car all the time, but this one day you're going to stop putting regular.
Yeah.
Eventually that is going to break down, and that's happening to the body because you're putting a higher dose of nutrient or water that your body does not need. So therefore, you may feel better. It may, like people say, oh, it really flushed me out because you've shocked the body. Think of it. You've shocked your body. Now it doesn't really know what to do anymore. So you have to be careful with the alkaline, because I tell people it's not a natural product. It's manufactured just like if it came from Fiji. I tell people I will want to kick over the TV when I see that commercial talk about from Mother Nature and all that.
Right.
I'm like, they're such a liar. I mean, because everything is processed, and and it's imported. So that's another thing. So you have to really question the alkaline. I tell people, think about it. Where was it 10, 20, 30 years ago if it's so healthy? And mind you, you have to look at calories too. So for those that watch calories and they say, oh, this has too many sugars. But anything natural going to have carbs. You need a little bit of carbs. That's why 6 grams is not bad. And it's a total of 50 calories in every 16-ounce bottle I have. So we're supposed to be based off a 2,000 calorie diet. But if you cut that to say 1,500 and you're giving your body what you need nutrient-wise, because it's all about shrinking the stomach. Our problem is that people expand the girth of their stomach, therefore they're never full. So that's why it's a problem to, lose weight, because you have to shrink your stomach first.
Yeah, that definitely. Yeah, you have to start with that waistline and the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I definitely agree. Sherman, let's talk a bit about entrepreneurship and your journey. We know you got started with this many years back, and now you're running into the part where you've launched, everything is, have people that are interested, the product is out. Tell us a little bit about your journey, like as far as getting set up, some of the successes, and maybe like 1 or 2 challenges when it comes to when you were starting out.
Well, I'm being, having you a unique product is not really a blueprint, and there's not too many people I can reach out to in regards to, hey, how do I make a beverage? How do I make this product? And the one sad thing in regards to challenges is that every time I went to different people with this so-called list that they give you.
Yeah.
And mind you, the list is never completed. So they'll say, oh, you're missing this. So it took me about 4 years to get this list right, because they wouldn't just give me the list from the jump. Even though you can do all this research and this and that, everybody wants something different. And it requires you to either save up or based off your position, because a regular average entrepreneur is not going to have the funding, and they can't even go to their family. So I get fascinated when people say, oh, just go to your rich uncle and your rich aunt, and I'm like, wow, I don't know anything about that.
Right.
I mean, my family is upset that they got rid of layaway, so...
Oh, well, yeah.
Yep, so when I say it's a lot of challenges, and the thing is, if you're not ready to put everything into it, then I tell people don't even go forward, because the thing is, you can't expect anybody to hold your weight when they don't really understand where you want to go with your product or your service or whatever it is, because it seems like if you try to reach out, it's like you're trying to take from them. You're taking food from their mouth. So therefore, everyone want to hold all of these key information or feed you bad information. I'll feed you all good information because the thing is how I seen it. If you win, I win. Yeah. Because if that person can't get to the next level, how can we all get there? Because I got to lift a hand up. And the thing is, those that have made it through the struggles, you look back and say, okay, how is this benefiting my community when we supported him? So my whole thing is, how many people that are creating things are creating something healthy? Because mind you, diet and all this stuff, it doesn't take much, but unfortunately for those that are struggling, they don't have time to go to the gym. They don't have time to look through all of the different menus or plans to cook the right meat. Yeah. It's just time. So when you look at what I've been through, and mine has been 10 years, I'm still going through it because there's a time that when I was presenting it, I couldn't even tell them it's mine because it was just this thing, I don't know, a cloud that's saying that, hey, I don't know, I don't trust. And the thing is, it's not me. Yeah. Trust the product. Stop looking at me. So I had to try to get that barrier up to say, it's not about me. It's about the product. And mind you, it's the healthiest beverage on the planet. And it knocks everyone's socks off because they do the same stuff. So coconut water, the Powerades, the Gatorades, the regular waters, the alkaline, the list goes on. They all hydrate you to a certain extent, but they're not giving you what your body needs. So it's those nutrients that you can't get in the foods and the minerals that are no longer in the water that used to come from the well that I provide, because the minerals activate the vitamins that your food eat. So because when I mentioned the imbalance, because of those missing minerals. So once we stopped having the ability of clean well water and went to bottled water, they filtered all of the good and bad out. Yeah. So mind you, when it did that, there's no more trace minerals, this and that, so that's gone. So how are you activating your food to actually help regulate your diet? You don't. So that's why you have so many issues now with obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, and you know what the one thing they say, because it's all natural, how's it going to affect my meds? And the thing is, those meds, once you go on certain meds, it's meant you never to go off of them. Right, yeah.
So sad. You are absolutely right.
So the journey is still challenging. I've been able to accomplish so much without a broker. So mind you, I've been able to get a contract to be in 30 Walmart locations here in Florida, but already on Walmart.com. With the cosmetic beverage, having something unique, you can actually push an agenda and say, okay, I can be in a place where there is no competition having a product. Therefore, you have to disrupt the market, you can say, which they say I've been able to do. So I've also been able to get an Aldi. So I should be in all Aldi locations, grocery locations in California come January. And I also have a contract, but it seems like it's always a challenge. So I got a contract to be in Winn-Dixie. And I don't know if you heard of Winn-Dixie.
Oh, yeah, I had those.
Yep, so 30 of them here, again in Florida. But they said the caveat, it's always a hook. It's always something.
Right.
I want your product, but you need to find a distributor that are already working with Winn-Dixie to do a DSD, which is a direct sale delivery, meaning they stock it and all that other stuff. But the thing is, when you go that route, this contract's not big enough. I don't see any way I can help you. You're too small. There's always something, and I even was able to break barriers to be in Whole Foods in the South region. I actually was in Whole Foods in 6 states, but I was constantly fighting the leadership there because, okay, if I'm in the region, why can't you let me be in every actual store in the region? Yeah. So that was another thing. So mind you, some people still have issues based off our history. And even though you went to them, they will refuse to support and help, even give you a chance. But needless to say, I'm no longer in there because after the acquisition of Whole Foods with Amazon, regardless of being a disabled veteran, a small business, they found a way to kind of weed you out because you're not making that profit or bottom line that they need. Even though I had a hot seller as a product, because the lady in the store said, you know what? To not be in all of the stores, whatever store you in, is selling like hotcakes. And I even had multiple people email what's going on. They pulled it off the shelf. And I said, I don't know. And, it was always a back and forth thing. So when I tell people the entrepreneur journey is based on what you have in your heart, having a plan, stay consistent and never wavering, and don't never take no for an answer. I have, when you get denied for a loan and they say wait a month or whatever, I didn't wait nothing. I was applying for at least 2 or 3 loans every week for at least a year straight. So almost every loan or whatever, I guess, advertisement you may have seen or heard, I applied for it. And I know the truth now. And the thing is, you'll never get any of those loans because you're not making the amount of money required to be approved to begin with.
Yeah, but you stayed the independent route and you kept pushing your product, and now look where you are now. So that is definitely inspirational, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the listeners are encouraged by your story. And speaking of encouragement, before we get ready to wrap up here, Sherman, just drop us a couple of gems on how important it is for people to stay encouraged on their different goals and dreams, and also, just any words or advice, tips, ideas, resources, anything that you want to leave for any of the aspiring entrepreneurs or business owners who may be listening.
Oh, definitely. The one thing that we all do, regardless if you're an entrepreneur or not, you look in the mirror. And then when you look in that mirror, you're like, okay, what do I see? What do I see as in the future, as in who makes me who I am? And a lot of people still look in that mirror every day and they don't know. Because you're either just living, going through the motion, or existing. So there is those choices in life. And I said, you know what? I choose to live. I'm not here just to exist. You see people get in their cars, go to the same job, go to the same market, to do the same thing, repetitive every day. And they're not doing anything. They're just existing. So, but those that live, those are the people that make a difference. And it's not just for their bottom line. It's because you're solving a problem. Because that was the one thing people say, okay, what is the problem? And then they say, you identify that problem, then you figure out how to solve that problem. And if you can solve that problem and you can have a plan and show people how this is going to formulate, it will transition to dollars. And I'll say you need to have those things, but don't think it's going to transition to dollars, because a lot of people don't see the vision you have. There's a lot of people that came before us that have vision, and they kept going, and we wouldn't have the things we have today. So you can't never get discouraged, even though you may say, oh, what am I going to do? And I'll say this to those, I don't know who are Christian faith or religion, but I got to a point in my life that I couldn't do no more. I did a lot of great things, but I could not do it anymore by myself. So I said, Lord, I need help. I put it in your hand. And God is my witness. I got baptized. I just want to lighten, mind you, I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. So, and we won't be. But in that, prayers and moving forward and know my heart is, because my thing is to be a blessing to others. But in order for me to do that, people have to support you as well. Because mind you, we support everybody else except for the ones that really struggling because you think they got it going on. But the thing is, buying a pair of Jordan is not the same as having an extra house, a vacation spot. These are the things that you don't see versus what you do see. So you can't say that it's going to always be easy. You need to expect it to be extremely hard all the time, because they don't expect you to go anywhere. So I say, look in the mirror, and you need to say who you are and believe it, and not just say it. You need to write it down and live those, have those values, and say that no matter what, me, my God, or whoever you feel has got your back, and you keep moving forward. Because mind you, don't say the girlfriend, the boyfriend, the wife, the husband, it don't matter, because end of the day, even your mom, dad, aunts, uncle, they're not going to support you. But you can't let that deter you. So that's my tidbit of advice, to say, know who you are when you're moving forward, so no one can ever question where you're going down that road.
Amen to that. That is definitely news that we can all use. So appreciate that, Sherman. Let's go ahead and wrap up. Please let us know where we can find out more information about you and Body Aqua online. Make sure you drop your social handles and any other information you want to share.
If you want to find out more information on Body Aqua, just go to drinkbodyaqua.com. And of course, we're on Twitter. It's the same thing, Body Aqua at Twitter. Instagram.com/Body Aqua, as well as we're on LinkedIn as well. Just typing in
perfect.
LinkedIn at Body Aqua.
LinkedIn at Body Aqua. Got you. All right, perfect, Sherman. So we definitely appreciate your time this afternoon, and we will look forward to having you back hopefully next year. I feel like you're probably going to have some other products or something else rolling out, but you have me very, 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 very much interested in this functional fitness, and now knowing that this is the what did we say, the healthiest beverage on the planet. So yeah, we appreciate you, Sherman. Thanks so much for being a great guest.
Okay, can I add one more thing before I go?
Absolutely, feel free.
Okay, well, I just got an email a second ago, and it's not definite yet. So they're looking at veteran businesses, and I don't know who watches Fox Cable News, but they're planning on having some veterans there on Veterans Day, which is November 11th, and I am one of the contestants that they're looking at trying to get out there. So just pray for me and support, and who knows, order a case, and you'll be very amazed of the results, because one bottle a day will help keep the wrinkles, acne, as well as body fat away.
Hey, we all need that. Excellent, Sherman. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks for hanging out with us here on SOB. We hope this episode has been resourceful. If you'd like to check out the latest articles or follow Keetria's website updates, just log on to Keetria.com or follow her on Twitter at KEETRIA.